everybody. Clearing. Okay, this is a Divine Feminine check-in, and I'm just going to do this really quick and hopefully get to a Divine Masculine version. But let's see, what do the Divine Feminines need to know about what is coming in for them next on the journey? So we're still getting this card of reciprocated energy, being in receptivity, understanding equal give and take. This can also be a card of giving to one thing and then switching and giving to another thing. So there's a little bit of a changing energy here. Okay, I'm going to get a Starseed Oracle for this. What do the Divine Feminines need to know about change? Spectrum generator, reprogramming, transmutation, and stabilization. So things, you're going to change the way you're looking at certain things. You're going to become more stable. So whatever the changes are, things are being transmuted. So I'm getting, first off, you know, this journey has been a little bit of hot and cold, and the breadcrumbing, the inconsistency, and that's going to stabilize. But your opinion of what that has been is also going through a transmutation. You're going to start seeing that. Now, I'm not talking about abusive situations and manipulation. I'm talking about the circumstantial dance that happens in these divinely orchestrated timing situations where certain extenuating circumstances don't allow for connections to be constantly on. There is a release of control and coming into a stable, autonomous, grounded wholeness. So I'm seeing that shift, that many that have heard of that as a theory and haven't embodied it will begin to embody. Okay, how can we further interpret this emotionally? Yeah, so letting go of the grieving, the trauma, and really appreciating the love that was there, picking up on the discernment of frequencies and practicing self-love. Page of Cups is a card of self-love. Eight of Wands is discerning accurately the energies. Five of Cups in the upright, it's just grieving. In the reverse, we're now focusing on the loving story, the interpretation that supports rather than victimizes. So we're doing that with self-love here. So as it relates to this theme, Divine Feminines, you're really understanding that everything that's happened has been a blessing if you have eyes to see what it's done to create more of a stable core in you. Now, I'm not talking about abusive situations. I've had a little bit of a run of people that I've deleted talking about how tarot readings and my readings keep people in abusive situations. So I just want to say, you know, that's not the case. I don't think the people that are commenting that have watched my videos. But regardless, if you're in an abusive situation, if someone's not treating you well, that's not a divine template. That's not ever what I'm speaking to here. So just for the record, consciously on the conscious mind, what is this spectrum generator reprogramming doing? You're starting to see that not holding back your truth is beneficial, speaking it in a balanced way, not taking shortcuts, not being short-sighted is a true victory. You're seeing the difference between a shallow victory, a temporary victory, you know, just kind of taking a shortcut, and long-term doing the right thing. You're seeing how it's more beneficial to go for the gold rather than quick fix. So you're going to see opportunities where you're not selling anyone short in a situation. You'll have the opportunity to be more, to exemplify your character more clearly. Okay, physical realm. What's happening for the feminines with this stabilization and change that's happening? Yeah, you're going to see that you're more balanced. This is going to look like your emotions have reached an equilibrium and compassionate non-attachment. So your boat isn't being rocked by things outside of yourself. You're just good, and you know not to take it personally anymore. compassion and taking things personally are different. Empathy is an interesting one, because sometimes we think that in order to be empathic or sensitive, we have to take things personally and get all personally involved. That's not the case. You can have compassionate non-attachment. And so that's what I see coming in there. Okay, let's get into what let's see what the feminines are thinking and feeling about these connections at this time. I'm going to pull a card for any divine masculines cross-watching to also see what they can know, you divine masculines can know about your divine feminines and the messages that come out here. So thank you, Divine Creator, for showing us. What are the divine feminines thinking about these connections? What are they feeling on the heart space for their divine counterpart? What are they wishing at this time for the connections? What are they doing in their lives that will bring the connections closer into alignment? What is the biggest challenge for the divine feminines? Oh, these cards are hard to shuffle. What is the spirit guided solution for that challenge? And where are the energies going? The divine feminine energies going. And then I'm shuffling the clarifiers. What can the divine masculines further know as cross-watchers about what's happening in the cards for the divine feminines? Okay, conscious mind, divine feminines. Ooh. King of Wands in the reverse with the wishes card in the reverse. So divine feminines, you might not be wishing for your King of Wands as your primary focus anymore. It's like taking a little bit of the, wow, there's some construction going on. Some real world changes happening right there. Hopefully you can hear me and that's not too loud. It's incredibly loud on my end, but yeah, so there seems to be like a letting go, not wishing for the connection if it's not forthcoming. That's what I'm hearing. So what do the divine masculines need to know about that? Energy is energy. If you're not contributing, look, this is the scepter in the reverse that the King of Wands holds. This is the Ace of Wands. It's a passionate new beginning. So the divine feminines, basically divine masculines, if you're not showing up, they don't need you to anymore. They don't even want you to. If you don't want to, they don't want to. If you don't want them, they don't want you. If you're not able to come forward because your fear, because of whatever, they actually don't want to force anything. So energy doesn't lie. If you've got that charge, again, this is the most phallic card in the deck. It talks about a sacred sexual becoming. So if you're feeling that growing, it might be because your divine feminine has let you go and possibly opening up to other options. Energy works this way, sort of, but the big message is they don't want you if you don't want them. It's kind of like a which way do you want to go with this, divine masculine? Okay, on the heart space, what are the feminines feeling? They're feeling the truth that they know they're going somewhere good. They're going towards their destiny, whether they take this or this path. And they know that no matter what they do, it's just like that. Okay, what can we see? Prince of Swords. So no communication. They might not be communicating right now because they're just going with the flow and they know all roads lead home. That things will go towards what is meant for them. Divine feminines are not wishing for things that are not coming forward to them. And so, yeah, they're not communicating this, but your divine feminine has let go and is surrendering to the journey, not to necessarily letting go of you or needing to be with you, divine masculine. Your divine feminine is just doing them now. What are the divine feminines wishing? To continue balancing out energy. The Eight of Cups in the reverse is the coming back around, not really, being all or nothing. It's balanced out. And then energetically feeling that sweet spot, that cutting edge that allows for just open energy, just being present with what is practical, grounded, realistic, showing up right in front of them in their reality. And Knight of Cups, so this is a very self-loving motion. Divine Feminines, you're falling in love with yourself because you're able to take or leave these energies in a profound way, trusting that you are going in the right direction. You haven't gotten it wrong. It is what it is. And you're just open to what is for you at each step of the way. This is truly self-loving, connected to source kind of energy. What actions are the feminines taking? They're wishing to be more self-contained. They're wishing to have a little bit more fun. They're wishing to keep their strategy. It's like need to know basis. I don't know how many times in my life I've heard that, oh, this energy is so much in alignment with a lot of the things that I've heard masculines described as all of my life. You know, just need to know basis, keeping things grounded, practical, realistic, being non-attached, even with sexuality. Wow, feminines, you're really embodying your divine masculine energy and balancing that out, scratching that itch within yourself. And the Hierophant. So yeah, you're channeling this divine masculine spiritual guidance. You're embodying this higher compassionate non-attachment and emotional equilibrium. This is the yin-yang that's being included in your path. You're no longer being, you know, an objectified secondary energy. You have made yourself primary, divine feminines. What is the biggest challenge at this stage? Remembering to always look at the love through the options, remembering to just utilize the discipline to go into meditation at every twist and turn of the journey of your path, and remember that there is a clearly marked loving path through all of the confusion, the brain fog, the options, through all of it. So the challenge is remembering to be aware of that at every step. What is the solution? Dropping in underneath the layer of reality that is the 3D, understanding that it's all about the energy. There is a little side note here, because this is divine masculine commitment in the physical, that there is commitment here, whether it's called that or not. There is a commitment to the journey. There is a heart pledge to the becoming. So divine feminine, see it that way. See it that as though you are learning what authentic, valid contribution and connection is, without having to bind it and limit it by calling it something or making it to conform to some sort of a structured thing. It's really this being okay with the open energy that's emerging. You're climatizing into this openness where it is more realistic, more practical, and not so dependent on appearances in the 3D. What can we see for the divine masculines? Yeah, it's progress. This is beautiful energy of progress. So divine masculines, if this is unnerving you, if you're seeing your divine feminine changing, acting, possibly perceiving that there is more of an aloof, secretive, detached energy, it's progress. It is progress because your divine feminine is balancing out. Where are the energies going from the divine feminine polarity? Whew, long term. 10 of Pentacles. This is the long term and the glow up. So divine feminines are continuing to come into their highest version and align with the long term. So they are still, divine feminines, you are still aligning with this long term energy. We saw a little bit of that short-sighted long term calibration happening earlier, and that's the difference between this Queen of Wands being in the upright or not. So it's completely surrendering, trusting that as you flow through your life, all that which needs to come to you will just magnetize and show up in your reality, and that you're meant to take instruction from everything that is or isn't showing up in your reality, but more so just focusing on the blessing that's coming to you, the transmutation, the stabilization of how you used to interpret things, And now really just being in appreciation of what is. This is bringing you more into the embodiment of the divine feminine energy for the long term. We are infinite, so it is a process of becoming, and there is more and more becoming here. What is the divine feminine card, or divine masculine card? Is the Lovers. So it is all about aligning with the higher love, not so much the attachment of the person, but allowing the joy of experiencing the journey and the connection and the mirroring with a person. But this is what it's all about. It is this journey. It is this sacred spiritual revelation of the nature of reality that we are all waking back up to and seeing played out with these sacred connections. Okay, many blessings. I'm going to go do a divine masculine one now. Bye for now.